there, this is Dina. Okay, we've got workout number 11. Okay, so this is the one where you're going to be using the new bands that we gave you. Okay, so if you received one, you're going to be using it today. If you don't have one, I've got some alternatives for you. Okay, so this is you're going to do 4 supersets. So supersets are 2 exercises in a row, so you only got to remember 2 things. You're going to be doing 30 seconds of work and 12 seconds of rest and transition. Okay, your first superset are wall kisses. Okay, so this is your hip hinge pattern. Okay, and basically it's just like a standing body weight deadlift or RDL pattern or that, okay? So basically, right, you're just going into that hip hinge pattern, right? So if you remember when we were doing the stick hinges, right? So you're just reaching as far forward as you can, take your hips back. It's not a down position, right? You're just going back, trying to touch the wall with your tailbone, okay? If you have a hard time with this, you may remember we put your calves against the bench, and you're just doing that. Okay? If you have a dumbbell, you can always put the dumbbell on your chest as you're doing this. So just like this, reaching back as far as you can with your tailbone. The work comes from the going back. It's that eccentric motion. Okay, then you're going to do those knee drivers. So take a step back and up and up and up. Okay? Now, to make these easier, don't take such a big step back. Okay? You can just be going like that. You can also have both arms up, bringing the knees up. Okay? To make it harder, take a step back, a bigger step back, and it's like the leg that you're standing on, the one that's not moving, that's like a single leg hinge, right? If you go forward and up, forward and up. You see, notice how that's a single leg hinge. Alrighty, so that's set number 1, wall kisses and knee drivers. Okay, we're going to use our band. I might get a little closer so you can see how we're doing this. So the first exercise is a bend to over row. So again, you're going to get into your beautiful hip hinge position. Okay, when you do this, make sure you're not rounded. You don't want to be a cashew, right? You want to make sure you're pretty bent over because you're going to be fighting gravity. And so that means a perpendicular pull from the floor, okay? If this does hurt your back, just make sure you're not tucking your tail under, okay? Just like this. Bring your belly button down to the floor. Okay, to set up with the band, let's start with it doubled up like this. You're going to just step on the band like that. You want to be about hip width on the feet. Now you've got 2 little handles here. Get in your hip hinge position, tighten your core, and you're just going to pull all the way up. Okay, so notice my body's not moving. Right, I'm in my hip hinge position, tighten core, just pulling up, feeling that in the arms and the back. Okay, now ways to make it harder or easier. Okay. Your feet determine how much tension there are in the band. So if you need it a little easier, bring your feet in a little bit. Okay, see how there's more pull? Or widen the feet out, less give. Okay, and if it's too hard doubled up, then you want to just have it be single. So a single loop right here like this, and just pulling on up. So you have to figure out what's going to work for you. Play around a little bit with it before you get into the full movement and exercise and work. The second one we've done before, except we're going to do it with the band, which is going to make it a little tougher. Okay? So again, let's start by doubling up the band. This is the lat pull down. Feet are just hip width, athletic position, arms above head, pull. Right? See how I got that nice and tight now? I feel that in my shoulders. Pull my shoulder blades down and just pulling straight down to my chest. Okay? So this is not so much arms as it is your back. But I still consider this a pulling motion. Okay, bam. Okay, now make sure you're not slack. You want to keep it tight the whole time, so you're not slacking as you come down, right? Nice and tight the whole way. Okay, so that is set number 2. Bent over rows and your lat pull down. Okay, set number 3. We're going to do a wall sit, okay? Wall sit and duck under. So wall sit, whoops, I'm going to put this here, and you're just going to find that wall, and come on down, hang out, right? Best thing is, do some with your arms. That will get your mind off of it. Make sure the weight is on the heels, not on the balls of your feet. Make sure your ankles are right underneath your knees, and see how far down you can get, and hold that for 30 seconds. Right? You can do jazz hands. Alrighty, and then the second one, duck unders, right? Take a step out, ducking underneath, coming on up, feet together. Take a step out, ducking under, see if you can touch that floor, and come on up. Make sure, though, that you're not doing this, right? You want to, it's all through the hips, trying to get down as low as you can in those hips. Okay? Finally, last one, right? We're doing lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body. We're going to do our pressing pattern. So we did a hip pattern, we did our pulling pattern, we just did our knee pattern, and now we're doing our pushing pattern. So you're going to take your band. I am going to get a little closer here. You don't need to see my feet. Okay, feet are hip width, athletic position. Okay. Once again, you got to play around to see how you need to have this. This is called a band sky punch. It kind of sounds like a cocktail. So you put your hand right at your chest, and you're just going to reach on up like you're the Statue of Liberty. I'm going to do these half kneeling. There we go. Okay? So right here, up and down, up and down. Okay? So here is the tips and tricks. Right, this is your anchor, so you want to keep it nice and tight. Okay, so that you have an anchor. Make sure it's not moving along. Right, keep it right next to your chest so you get the most pull. Second thing you want to watch out for, you have to have good tension on the band when you're starting. Okay, so you don't want to be wide like this and there's no tension. Okay, so you've got to figure out how much band you need to start, okay? Now I've got it doubled up. Maybe you only use one to start, okay? And you're reaching up overhead, kind of off to the side, not completely overhead, okay? Let me see, what else? Oh, don't do this, right? When you're reaching up, you're not just moving through the elbow, right? Arm all the way down, pressing up, arm all the way down, pressing up. Last thing, I found that when my thumb was like this, it kind of pressed on the thumb, was annoying, so maybe you want to have your thumb like that, right? So right here, pressing up, pressing up, pressing up, okay? You will feel those. And then the last one in your last superset, getting your tandem position, hands up here, and doing power punches. Woo, right? This is force and velocity. The faster and harder is where the work comes in. Okay, there you go. Using our super cool bands, our super bands, which are super cool. Okay, awesome. We'll see ya.